And we are live in separate studios. Last episode, we were live together in Kansas City. Today, we are back on our coast in Midwest. I am Anthony Krzyzewicz. I am one of the hosts of Let's Talk Vinyl. And right next to me is the man, the myth, the legend, the winemaker extravaganza, I don't know, fucking amazing person, friend to many, Mr. Trey Bush.
What up?
All right, that's enough clapping.
Good to be here, Anthony.
Dude, it is.
Look at that. That was not enough. I was waiting for a standing ovation to get a little bit louder and louder.
There you go.
Yep.
You like that?
Thank you.
I was working on that. You know, it's interesting. So we've been doing the show for a long time, and going on 3 years this summer, and we got to finally meet last month or this
last month.
Was it this month?
Last month. Was it February? It was February.
So you came to Kansas City, and we got to hang out. We got to do a show. It was very kind of rushed because I got you from the airport. We came to the house. I threw you in a chair right here, right about this area.
Yeah, right
there. We opened a bottle of wine. And we had a good time.
We did. It was a great time. I enjoyed hanging out with your family. I enjoyed meeting everybody and got to learn a little more about Kansas City, which is a pretty rad town, actually, and sold some wine. It was great.
You're
a great chauffeur. You're a great taxi driver.
Well, you know, if anyone, and we've had quite a few people in the year because we just celebrated our year anniversary of living in Kansas City or buying this house per se last week. And in that time of us being here, we've hosted quite a few people. Robert Bruno, who did the Pearl Jam poster that we had through Touring Fan Live, that artist rendering, he was here last weekend. We have some people coming in a few weeks. The door's been I like hosting people. My wife, man, not so much, but me, I enjoy people coming over and hanging out and having a good time. But man, it was such a good time you coming here, and we got to hang out and really get to know each other a little bit more and enjoy watching some TV and get to know about each other and stuff. I think it was a really good time to kind of just, I guess, enjoy each other's company. To
connect.
Yeah.
And isn't that what life is all about? Connecting. With people.
It's like
that's what we're doing right now. We are connecting with people who love wine and Pearl Jam.
That's right. That's
right. What up, Matt?
We're
that's a big group, by the way. I think that's a fairly large group of people.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam fans who love wine.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know, what I find interesting too is the older I get in life and stuff. I'm about to turn 38 in a few weeks. Like, the older I get, the more like I'd rather.
How old?
I'll be 38. Is that? Did I say something wrong?
I mean, that's not getting old. I'll tell you that. I guess it technically is getting older.
I am getting older.
But, yeah.
My voice is getting deeper. Things are happening to my body. It's changing.
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to. Is that like second puberty?
It is. I'm knocking. I am knocking. I am knocking on the door of my midlife crisis, and it's closing on me. Very much so. So, but no, but the older I get, the more, and especially doing the show with you and being really educated on wine and stuff, like if I'm going to drink and be social and I want to enjoy myself, like I've definitely turned the page of like just drinking beer, unless it's like a sporting event. But like if I'm at home, I'd rather open a bottle of wine, talk to people, and enjoy a nice glass of wine. And the older I get, the more I enjoy it. And to kind of wrap this up in a nice bow of what this whole thing means, you keep mentioning like how Pearl Jam and wine are kind of like very connected, and it's true because the last 3 Pearl Jam shows I went to, I think that most of my social outings, I had a glass of wine in my hand with people around me that had a glass of wine in their hand. So I do think you're 100% correct.
Look at you growing up, Anthony.
Oh, watch out, world. Who knows? Maybe I'll run for president one day. That should be music on the soundboard. Maybe like the presidential dun 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 dun. Michelle, 50 and fabulous. I agree with you. It's all good stuff. Who knows? So
53 over here, just rocking it.
And let me put this out there first of all.
It's a number. It's a number. It's a number.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. First of all, so the first time I met Trey was a month ago, which I didn't tell my family until like the day before you came that this was the first time we were meeting. Which like my wife's like, wait a minute. She's like, you're telling me this is the first time you're meeting him? I said, yeah, we've been doing a show for fucking 2.5 years. What does it matter? She's like, Anthony, this guy could potentially kill us. And I'm like,
he could be a serial killer.
I'm like,
I could have been playing the long game, Anthony.
Oh wait, I need wait. You know, I'm messing this up. I need the Heather voice. Where's my Heather voice? Here we go.
Anthony, you're bringing someone into the house that I've never met, you've never met, the kids never met, and you think it's safe for us? Think about this, Anthony. Are you really using your fucking head for this decision?
Heather, everything is fine. It's going to be good. We've done a show for 2.5 years.
You've never met the person. He could be catfishing us.
Heather, I'm telling you right now, we've seen each other on FaceTime. He sent me nice things.
Have you watched Catfish, Anthony? The people can do things with their phone. It doesn't matter.
So this was a conversation me and her had for 24 hours until you got here. And then she's like, oh, Trey was a really nice guy. I told you, it was nothing to fucking worry about.
Well, she didn't come off as super nervous meeting me. So I have a feeling that there's probably some ad lib in your conversation. I have a hard time thinking that she actually would have said those things about me. However, you know, she could also be very protective, and maybe that did happen. I don't know.
We had a fantastic time. We had it was great. It was a good time. So no, I enjoyed it. It was fantastic. I'm glad you came here. We got to chat. I got to show you around a little bit. And it was cool. It was a really good time. I got to bring you to some brewery up the road that was had shit for beer the night we went out, and you got to meet some.
It was fine. It was fine.
It was shit beer. That was the worst outing I've ever had at that brewery too. The beer was nasty. But it's gotten better since I've been there.
I don't think I got the legit barbecue while I was there either. Did we get some? We ordered some barbecue in, didn't we?
Oh God, I'm trying to think now. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything's a blur to me in the last 30 days. A lot's gone down in my life. So
you went and ran. You just ran a half marathon.
I did. So this past Saturday, I've been training since November. I wanted to run this. It's this half a marathon here called the Liberty Half a Marathon. A year ago, I ran it. I used to run a lot back in like 2016, 2013, run a shit ton of races. And that's when I was my lightest. And I got out of it. I started losing all my weight through keto, and I wanted to get back into running. So I'm like, you know what? A year ago, half a marathon came up on the agenda. We were moving our stuff out here. I told Heather like a week before, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run this race. And Heather's like, you're out of your mind. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And I ran it last year.
You didn't train at all?
Last year, no. And it took me.
Okay.
And here's the thing about this race. The tagline, which, I'm actually running the damn thing, is why the hill not, is the tagline for this. And this race has 11 hills that are of 642 feet of elevation through all 11 hills. So you're going up, you're going down, you're going up, you're going down. And the last mile is literally just straight up to a hospital. And so last year I was really disappointed in the fact that it took me 2 hours and 55 minutes to run this fucking race. So I wanted to run it again just for my benefit. Like I wanted to just do it for myself. And then I was raising money for suicide prevention because, you know, mental health in the world today, I just wanted to do better and just, you know, do something with this. So I ran the race on Saturday. And my goal originally was if I can shave 5 minutes time off of last year, I'd be super proud of myself. I've been training for a while. And I ran the race, and I shaved 20 minutes off of my half marathon. I finished the race in 2 hours and 35 minutes, and I was shocked. And you know, it's funny. And have you ever ran a race before?
I mean, back when I was in high school, I ran the longest race I ever ran was a 10K. I did when I was in the Navy. I mean, I ran a lot in the Navy, but I didn't run like races. It was just more like you ran because they told you to run until you told you to stop running. So,
well, there is this funny thing that happens to me every time I run a race. First 3 miles in, I can run a 5K every day, all day. I just ran 6 miles a little while ago. I feel good about myself. I can just go do it. So the first 3 miles you're in this run, I had ran over the first 2 hills. I'm like, you know what? I got this. I feel good about myself. Everything's great. I get to 6 miles and I'm like, Anthony, Like, what the little fuck are we doing here? It is cold. We're running up hills. What is the purpose of this? You get to 8 miles. Your legs are starting to scream. You start second guessing yourself. Like, should I be walking? I'm like, no, push through it. You get to 10 miles. You're like, you know what? We're at double digits. We're getting close. Everything feels good. And then that last mile, right when I hit to 12 miles, and you can see in front of you, like, you can see the road and the top of it. And you're like, holy shit, like, I'm gonna have to finish this out. And that was my slowest mile the entire race, was that last mile. It took me, I think like 17 minutes to finish that mile. It was brutal. Like, I jogged it. My legs were on fire. But I finished it. I'm excited about it. It motivated me. I'm gonna run another half a marathon on the 22nd of April. And no, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Next
stuff.
month?
It was a good time. Yeah, April 22nd.
In Kansas City?
In Olathe, Kansas. The only reason I'm doing this is 2 things about Anthony you might not know. Well, now you're learning that I enjoy running. Like, it's something I enjoy. Second thing is I'm a huge Wizard of Oz fan. Like, love Wizard of Oz tremendously. And there is a Wizard of Oz.
Have you ever watched The Wizard of Oz paired up
With Dark Side of the Moon?
Dark Side of the Moon
Many
while
times.
you were on mushrooms?
Not mushrooms, but with edibles, yes.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good time.
It is a good time. It's so interesting how perfect that lines up. Yet when they did an interview with David Gilmour and Roger Waters, they both declined. Like, we had nothing to do with this. It doesn't make sense. Roger Waters admits to, like, watching it that way, like, after, like, recently too, within the last 6 years, interview.
No, look, the reality is both the movie and the album are best listened to while high. And if you just pair the two up together, you can make it make sense in your head.
I don't,
It may not be true, but you're like, oh, it's totally meant to happen.
It's just so odd how perfect they line up. I mean, it's just too fucking perfect for me. I don't know. It's cool. Yeah. It's a good time. If you've never seen that, definitely you can go to YouTube and it's actually already synced up. It's Dark Side of the Moon, linked up with Wizard of Oz, and the way the music rolls changes the feel of the movie. There's lyrics from the songs that line up with the movie and things that are going on. It is a mind fuck. And I remember the first time I ever did it, I was like 15 or 14. And, like, I thought I discovered a whole goddamn new world. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
You had just discovered pot, Anthony. That's fine.
Yeah, that's all right. You know what? There's an interesting question, and I didn't even think about talking about this, but I want to talk about this because it's been interesting right now. Matt asked, did either of you two or fans watching get one of those Pearl Jam prints signed by the band for Jeff's charity? He said, I wish I did. And a lot of people are saying they wish they did as well. Did you end up getting one of those?
I did.
Which one did you end up getting?
Yeah. Is it which poster?
Yeah.
I'll have to go back down and look at it.
Okay.
I don't actually remember.
Oh.
But it was a whole. Literally, I pulled it out of the tube. I was like, "Holy shit, yes!" And then went downstairs and I've got it in my flat section. I'll text it to you later on. But go down and take a look at it.
Yeah,
it was for a good cause.
Yep.
Obviously, Jeff's skate parks. I keep trying to get these guys to let us do another wine for them so we can actually raise some money for the skate park. So
yeah.
But they all have their own stuff going on. So
sure. No, I didn't get one. You've been to my house. You see where my money is being spent right now. So I held off on that.
Yeah.
But
I knew that took a lot of restraint on your part.
100%. I had one in my cart, and then, like, my wife was in the other room, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to explain this. And I'm like, you know what? I just don't feel like explaining this. I just removed it quick. So it's all good. But
it's a tax write-off. It's a donation, tax write-off.
Don't tell me these things. Don't tell me these things. Fuck.
I know, but you know that some of the people who bought that thing are trying to flip them right now, right?
Oh, it is. That is the one thing that I think drives me nuts. And the good thing and the bad thing about Pearl Jam and posters, and I listen, I'd be lying if I said I didn't do this because I did it in 2016 with the Fenway shows. A lot of people buy the posters to flip them. And I get it. Everyone has the right to do whatever you want to with it. It's your money. It's your poster. If you want to do that, that's fine. I personally don't give a shit. I don't get as hot-headed as some people do about whether you keep it, how the value affects you. Like, there's some people who go way too thinking into it. But honestly, like, I don't know. I just wish people, like, they're going to collect it. But I mean, I don't, who am I to judge? I mean, I flip posters. I think everyone that's watching the show has flipped a poster or two at some point in their life, but there is a lot of autographed Pearl Jam posters on eBay right now, and it is crazy. I will say the one thing that's interesting to me. I don't know if anyone was caught onto this.
Yes.
Like, I've enjoyed looking at the posters that are signed and seeing where the band signed them, because like Eddie always goes for like the most dominant space on the print to sign it, and then everyone else, it just seems like a clusterfuck. Like, it's just like it's never organized. Like, there'll be a beautiful white space, but for some reason, like, Stone wants to sign in the most darkest fucking part of the print, and then Matt Cameron's up in the corner, and then you got Jeff down here. Like, there's no like rhyme or rhythm to it. It's just like kind of like
I'm looking at my Holly sent me a photo, but it's basically just like the edge of the poster. And even from that, I can't tell which one was. I know for a fact that somebody on here does. And so what I'm going to do real quick is
text it to me.
I'm going to text it to you.
All right, I'm opening up my text message, and I can put it up on the screen.
All right. No worries. Hold on a second here.
And as soon as I open up my text message, the first thing I see is Brad sent me a text like a couple minutes ago. It says, from the New York Post, I pooped myself while running a marathon. I can clearly say that I didn't shit myself while I ran, so I'm good on that part.
I brought it up. I brought that up for you, didn't I?
I guess so.
That wasn't you tooting your own horn or anything.
Huh. I'm waiting for Trey's text to come through, and then I'll post it up.
No. Listen, I'm going to do it on my phone while let's continue the discussion.
Sure.
Let's talk about what we're drinking.
Yeah, so we're drinking Merlot tonight.
We're 20 minutes into it. We haven't talked about wine yet.
We're 18 minutes in. We're not 20. We're good.
We're drinking Washington State Merlot.
100%.
Now we're not going to talk about Anthony's wine. Correct. It's a Washington State Merlot. We're sure it's delicious, but we're not going to be talking about it. What we can talk about though is the wine that I've got in my glass. And I have I should have send this to Brad too.
Okay.
The picture I sent you.
Sure.
So we're talking about Merlot, and so I went deep in the cellar. Can you see that okay, Anthony?
I can. Here, let me do this.
2004.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. 2004. 19-year-old bottle of Merlot from Washington State.
Damn.
And this is my old winery. I was making wine there from 02 through 06. And of all the wines I've got in my cellar, that's the one that I've got the most of.
Wow.
And when you said you had a Washington State Merlot, I said, well, I'm going to go downstairs and pull one. So did you get it okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to open it right now. For some reason, of course, today be the day I have some internet issues. Yeah, it looks like some people are saying, damn, I'm losing you on guys on Facebook and YouTube. Ugh. Matt. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't know. Their internet latency right now is not doing so well. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Do you need anybody to help you with your internet service, Anthony?
Yeah, I know a guy. I know a guy that knows a guy, and that's that. I'm gonna try to work on it here in a minute. How about this? Tonight, let's talk about the Merlot a little bit, and we're gonna go right into the songs. So, so you're drinking this Merlot? First of all, real vintage. I mean, some of that bottle of wine's older than some people that might be watching this show.
Might be, probably not, but might be. 19 years old. Look, Washington State made its name on Merlot. It was really the first grape that we were able to plant flag and say, the Merlot that we make in Washington is as good, if not better, than anyone in the world. And there are plenty of examples out there to sort of prove that. But since then, we've come to find out that we make a lot of other varietals as good, if not better, than a lot of places out there. So, but Merlot is definitely the first dog in Washington. This is from a vineyard called Canoe Ridge Vineyard. It is owned by Chateau Ste. Michelle, one of the larger wineries in Washington State. And in 2004, the winter between 03 and 04, we saw a catastrophic freeze in Washington State. In certain parts of the state, it got down to 20 below zero. And there, especially in Walla Walla, there was a lot of vines that did not survive. Vineyards, the buds were subjected to that temperature, and even though they were dormant, didn't make it the next year.
Okay.
So the majority of the Walla Walla Valley vineyards were cut down to the ground, and there was no crop that vintage.
Okay.
So Chateau Ste. Michelle came to all the wineries in the valley and said, "Hey, if you need some fruit, will you guys have access to our vineyards?" It certainly would not be a good thing for 70 plus wineries that were based out of Walla Walla to not make wine for the vintage. It wasn't really in anybody's best interest for that to happen. So Chateau Ste. Michelle came and helped out a lot of the smaller wineries, which we were one of. And that's where this Merlot came from. It was aged for probably 20 months in. Take a look at this real quick. Dun, 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 dun. 70% new French and a little bit of American oak.
So wait,
my winemaking style back then, those wines were a little riper.
Trey, let me ask you a question. Are you when you're barreling this, do you like to use like a chocolate flavored barrel oak? Is that something, or like a rum aged oak? Is that something you'd like to do with this, especially for a bottle that old? I would assume you have to do something like that.
You know what's not fair about our show, Anthony, is that you have the controls. I don't have any way of like making a ridiculous noise or being able to mute you when you ask ridiculously stupid questions. However, I think we all know the answer to that. That's a no, Anthony.
Listen, it is. It is what it is. I mean, listen, we all have our different opinions about things, whatever. No, it was funny when I was looking at wines. I saw one. I was like, "Oh, the label looks good," and I put it right the fuck back down as soon as I saw like aged barreled oak something something. I'm like, no, Trey will make fun of me for this. So I was like, no, can't do it.
Yeah. Look, most red wines are aged in barrel. Mm-hmm. That's not the problem. If it's a whiskey barrel or a tequila barrel or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a gimmick. No. It's just a gimmick to get people.
This wine at 19 years old, though, is still in awesome shape. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this wine is in great shape still. Got great, color's great, still smells amazing. Definitely has some secondary characteristics, meaning as wine ages, it loses a lot of those sort of prime fruit characteristics and brings on some, more things like, leather, some really cool spice components. It still has quite a bit of fruit, but yeah.
Oh man, is it?
Who said that, Anthony? Who's that last quote?
That was from you. You said I'm going to go downstairs and pull one. So that's Jesus. A soundbite. I'm gonna have to get that on my soundboard for that one. And the older it gets, an older bottle of wine vintages, it gets a little bit more airy. Is that correct? And that's where the flavor profile starts coming forward.
As a wine ages in a bottle, mm-hmm. especially with the cork closure, mm-hmm. you have a minute amount of oxygen entering into that bottle every year.
Okay.
And oxygen changes the profile of wine over time. You've experienced that by pouring a glass of wine, and by the time you get the last glass of wine, it smells different and it even tastes different from when you first poured it. That's just usually in a short hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Imagine, 15 years in a bottle, 19 years in a bottle, with a minute amount of oxygen getting into that bottle every year and slowly changing the way that wine tastes and smells and looks and all of those things. In a lot of cases, wines weren't built. There are a lot of wineries that build wines with the intent of not aging. They know those wines are going to be consumed over the next 2 or 3 years. And so stylistically, they're made in a way to present itself like that. But most serious wineries are making wines with the intent of aging for a long time. And if you have a good growing region and you've got a good vintage, good weather, and you've got competent winemakers on the backside of that, you should be able to make wines that you can open, especially Cabernet, Merlot, even Syrah, even older bottles of Grenache that are 15 or 20 years old that are still really delicious.
Okay. So, now let me ask you this, because I know that one thing we've talked about a lot of, and I don't think we've really discussed it, is like the business model around like wineries and how they're made and stuff. Because you've mentioned many times in the show, like some people bottle things to be drank within 2 or 3 years, and then there's some bottles of wine that are really meant to be kind of stored and enjoyed at a later date, because that's what brings the wine out. Even that bottle of wine we had last month, as great as it was, you said this would be much better in a few years. Do you when you are making decisions based on wine, especially bottling it or even like putting it out, do you really have, is that like a real big thought of like how we're going to be going forward with these bottles? Like, hey, this one is going to be, we have to sell at this price point because really, and sell it as something that you're going to want to hold on to. And then this is ones that were like, hey, we're going to sell in 2 or 3 years. This is where this price point is. Like, are you constantly thinking about that as you're building out your business of making wine out in Walla Walla?
Yeah, I mean, we have a house style already, and so all the decision making that we make in the vineyard, which is really where the wine is truly made, because you really can't make a great wine out of shitty grapes.
Sure.
So we spend a lot of time with our vineyard managers and trying to grow the best grapes we can.
Okay.
And for us, that may mean something different than another winery. But the steps that we take in the vineyard allow us to then make different decisions in the winery than other wineries to create the style of wine that we want to make. We like making elegant, age-worthy wines as opposed to ultra ripe, low acid, high alcohol, oaky wines. There's plenty of wineries that make wines like that, and there's millions and millions of consumers that love wines like that.
Okay.
So it's not saying that they are wrong. I'm just saying that what we make is not in that style. Okay. We have our fan base for the kind of wines that we make, and yeah.
No, I agree with you. I know I've had quite a few people ask about this, and I believe I've fixed the internet, by the way. I know a guy. So there's a lot of people asking about this poster, and here is the poster, the photo that we have. And I believe, if I'm correct about this is that tree poster that was done by that Bella, I forgot her name. I believe it's a female artist that made this poster. I'm going to look it up here in a minute, but that is the poster. As we're looking at, let me go to done. I'm going to see if I can find that real quick.
I mean, if Brad's here, Brad's going to be able to tell what that is.
I guarantee you in like 2 seconds, someone's going to be like, oh, that's, that from that poster. Bella, let me see. I almost feel like, nope, it's not hers. Okay, that's not who I thought it was. Hold on. I'm going to go to Espresso Beans. No, but I will say the one thing I've enjoyed talking to you about here recently, especially when it comes to like the wine and how things are made, is like I like the process behind it, because I feel like the more information I know about wine, the more like I get more open to the idea of like what I like to drink and stuff, because you start learning, I guess, about like how the process is done, and I'm starting to realize certain processes and certain like way things are barreled or things are aged like really determines like the wine. Now I will say like the wine I'm drinking tonight is very good. I've had better, your wine in particular, but I mean it is good, and it's an aged 2018 wine. But I mean, I've definitely, you've changed me. You've changed me personally. I feel like a different person because of you.
You touched me.
You've touched me
in ways that
so many ways, Trey. You've touched me in so many ways. You've fulfilled me in ways that I can't even express here. I mean, in general. So here's the poster that Trey owns. This is the Oakland Night 2 from 2022.
That was it. Oakland Night 2. I should have known that because I texted Richard after I got it. So, yeah. That's a good one.
Good one. Good one in general.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not one that I would have bought as a poster.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Based off
personally, because I didn't go to that show.
Well, based off of some of the posters that people are getting, man, I would say you dodged a bullet by that one.
Oh, really? I really haven't paid. How many posters do they sell?
I think it was over 300. Brad, how many posters were sold? You would know this. I don't know. He'll mention this in a minute.
That's almost 90 grand if he sold 300 posters.
It was a good amount. I mean, and good for him to be able to.
Hell yes, all day long.
Good for them.
All day long.
So yeah. Now let's go. Let's tie this in right into Pearl Jam. So tonight we're talking about two songs. We're talking about Supersonic and oh my God, what's the other song, Trey? What are we talking about tonight? I'm losing.
Future Days. Come on.
Future Days. That's right.
Jesus.
It's everyone's favorite wedding song for Pearl Jam. This is how it is. You know, it's but we're talking about these songs, and the reason I'm doing these songs is because one, these are not songs that are popular to talk about, like by any means, and we wanted to kind of go somewhere different. We've done a lot on some of the older albums. This is kind of within the most, in the frame of not the most recent, but we're going to talk about these and go from there. So let me ask you this right now. With the song Supersonic, because that's what we're going to start off with. When you think of this song, what comes to mind right away?
That's another one of those songs that was just like high energy, start to finish, right? It's a great driving song. So yeah, I mean that was start to finish. It's that thing not even 2.5 minutes long, is it?
I don't think so. There's a question for you though that you need to answer. I'm asking my family for a bottle of sleight of hand cellars for Father's Day. Has to be a white ?
It has to be a white ? Or
I think he's asking, should it be what for someone now? Matt has been a constant fan of ours on this show. Watched just about every episode, and if he doesn't, he watched it later on. Been consistent since day one. He's a day one fan. What wine would you recommend to him to drink from your cellars?
Well, we only make 2 white wines.
Mm-hmm.
We make a Riesling and a Chardonnay. They're both delicious. And so if you're looking for whites, that's a fairly short answer.
So in my opinion, drinking many of your wines, I would say that if this is wine that's going to be something that you're going to enjoy with your wife, and it's something that you're newer into wine, I would probably go with the Riesling, as that's a very easier wine to get into, I think, than the Chardonnay, in my opinion. I think that you're going to enjoy the profile probably from the Riesling in the long term. It's a nice, especially with warmer days coming out, springtime. This would be a great bottle of wine to drink with, like in springtime. You can do a little cheese plate with it. I think it'd be something enjoyable to have, especially on Father's Day in June. That's gonna be summertime. I think Riesling would be your best bet, in my opinion.
Thank you, Master Sommelier Anthony.
Listen, I know some shit. I'm getting there. I'm not perfect, but I know some shit. All right. But let's go right into Supersonic. The song is only 2 minutes and 45 seconds long. I'm doing a live version from Hartford. I know it's a Seattle Night 2. Supersonic. Let's listen to it. We'll talk about it. Look at some facts, and then we'll wrap around, do something. Talk about the next song, and go from there. So, all right, here we go. This is Supersonic from Seattle, Night 2. This is Pearl Jam.
I was there. It was fun.
All right, let's go.
It's called Supersonic, but
Where's the video feed?
but tonight it's gonna OTOTO, one time only. Tonight it's gonna be called Supersonics with lyrics specifically designed for the occasion.
You know, first
Anthony,
of all,
come on, man.
what? Are you
That
gonna give me
wasn't
shit
even
next?
the right song.
It was Supersonic.
It was Supersonic with a completely different lyrics. They were completely different. That was the one they did for the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, so what?
Not that
Yeah.
anyone could understand what Eddie's singing there anyway, but
No, but here's the thing. No matter what version you listen to, I still think the best part of that song is the breakdown of the guitar, especially like with Stone, kind of that slow. It brings a song down slower, and then it builds it back up with matched drums. I think that's the best part of the song. I don't know if the lyrics really are anything to take home about. I mean, I don't. You know, I mean, that's me personally. I'm not trying to shit on the song, but I mean, it's not. I wouldn't even put this in my, I don't know, top couple song. I don't know. It's a tough song.
hold on a second. I gotta text Eddie real quick and let him know what you said.
Oh, here we go.
Lyrics
go.
aren't anything to write home
Jesus
about,
Christ.
according to Anthony K.
Oh God. I wish,
Please check his membership number in the Pearl Jam fan club.
it's all right.
Here
My
we go.
number being
Okay, sorry.
absolute number. I am not good at keeping up with that. My number has lapsed so many times. I'm pretty sure I'll be sitting in
No,
the
come
back.
on. You don't have it on auto renewal?
No, I'm not good. And let's be realistic. Unless you have a really high number, I don't think it really fucking matters anymore.
It doesn't matter at all anymore. No.
A low number. All right, let's go to the numbers. Hold on, let me get a really fun. I think I have a fun noise for this. Hold on a second. Let me see. Here we go from livefootsteps.org, where all of your Pearl Jam needs and information is sitting, waiting right at the tip of your fingertips. Livefootsteps.org. Anyway, I am shocked by the numbers. I thought this song was played more. Only 19 times ever played. And the last time it was played, 2015. Knocking on the door of 10 years. And I have a noise for that one. Here we go. It is knocking on the door of being 20 years since it was last played.
What? How many years?
Dude, the last time it was played in 2015. It's been 18
Well,
years.
you just said they just played. That was Seattle Night 2. Was that like Seattle Night 2 with the old? Where the hell was that Night 2 at?
2000. That would have been 2010. I mean, look how young Eddie was. It was the
Wow.
Backspacer tour.
That was the Backspacer tour. Of course it was.
Yes. So it's only been played 19 times. It's never been an opener, never been a closer. Could you imagine going to a show and then it starts with Supersonic, or you leave on Supersonic? Let me ask you this question, and to everyone that's tuning in right now. Do you honestly think, based off the fact they're only playing about 23 to 26 to 27, I don't know, songs per night, you ever think this song ever gets played again?
They may never play that song again.
I am on the same page as you. I don't think this song ever gets played again, unless, for some reason, when the NBA does their expansion teams and the NBA goes back to Seattle, which I think is something that's going to happen at some point, they play up there. And at the Climate Pledge Arena, I believe that's what it's called. They play up there, and they say, you know what? This is for the team that's finally back and home. Here's the Supersonics. Something like that.
Yeah. Or if they do a Backspacer complete album.
I don't... Hold on a second. I have a noise for that one, too. Hold
Now,
on.
why are you laughing about that, Anthony?
There's no chance he'll ever do a full Backspacer show. There's no chance. I think
now you're disparaging Pearl Jam.
I'm not disparaging
songwriting
anything.
capabilities.
No, I am not.
People love that album.
Hold on a second. Listen, first of all, Randy says, Trey, I'm going to be in Seattle April 21st. Would love to hit up Sleight of Hands that night.
That's awesome. Hold on. Let me look at my calendar. Let me see what's going on that day.
While you're looking at that.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday night. We will actually be in Seattle. Holly has a burlesque show on 4/20.
Ooh, that'd be a fun one.
And on 4/22 Saturday night, she has two burlesque shows back to back.
Nice.
So we will be in town on the 21st. So email me.
There you go.
Email me at Trey TREY at SOFHCELLARS.com. And I'll get you on the calendar and hopefully be able to meet up. That'd be awesome.
Okay. So first of all, now let's get back to Backspacer. I'm glad that it worked out for you. I'm glad that you and Randy are going to have your moment. I'll be jealous, but it's okay. Backspacer is only 42 minutes long, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's less than that. It's 11 songs. That's it. 11 songs. But if you put into account that literally they're only playing 20-something songs, are you going to use half of the songs to play Backspacer? I am going to say no.
Let's look at that album real quick.
Okay, let's go. Let's start it off with "Gonna See My Friend."
It's a great song.
A great song. They
So
don't
fun.
play. They don't play it often. "Got Some," which I think is a very underrated
Got
song.
Some.
Oh, you're gonna get some. You're gonna got some. The Fixer, which is they sprinkle that in every so often. Johnny Guitar, a song another underrated song. Just Breathe, which I think at the time it made sense.
Everyone loves Just Breathe. It was like their 25-year-old version of Black.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean,
Black ages well, like fine wine. Just Breathe is kind of like a Michelob Ultra after 20 years. If you want to get drunk, you drink it.
No, come on.
Yep. Amongst the Waves.
Song. Look, it's a great song. I love that song.
Amongst the Waves, great song. Unthought Known, the best song off the album. I think is the most that might be in my top 10 favorite Pearl Jam songs of all time.
Unthought Known.
Unthought Known. Supersonic. I think we've all come to terms with the fact that this is kind of like Sweet Lou in its own sense. We're just going to leave that in that category. Speed of Sound. It's kind of, to be honest with you, that's a
That's
pretty
a good song too, though.
It's
I
a
like that
forgettable song, though. It's a good song, but
Is
forgettable.
it?
Yeah. Force of
It's
Nature.
forgettable. A great song, and also a great wine by Sleight of Hand Sellers.
I will agree with you on that one. I will put this out there. I might enjoy the wine more than I enjoy the song. Just gonna say that.
Oh my goodness! Come on.
Did you almost choke on that?
Great song, awesome lyrics.
And then the end. That is
Another
a
great song.
very hard song to listen to. It is just
Oh, come
really
on.
no, it's not, hold on a second. I think you're taking this wrong. Great song, hard to listen to because of the truth it speaks.
Mm.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna give Holly some wine here. Hold on.
no, that's fine. Listen, I was assuming with you opening a bottle of that wine that Holly was gonna have some of that.
Come over here. Sure, come here real quick.
Oh, hold on.
Come over here. Come here. Come here. Wait, you can see your elbow. You're on TV right now with 4 million people. 4 million people. What do you have to say right now? You're gonna make your statement. Go.
It's a big
audience.
Let me ask a simple question first.
If you're in my earbuds, so what's your question, Anthony?
Okay, here's the question you have to ask her.
Here's the question. Yep.
If you were to give advice to anybody, about what the world means, what would you say?
About what the world means to you, what would you say?
I don't know.
She says, read my book. Buy my tapes.
Peace, love, and harmony. I think we'll go with that one.
Peace, love, and harmony. I
think
like
that's a good
that. There we go. She's like, I'm going to go with that one. I love it.
All right, enjoy your wine.
Thank you, June. We're going to get Holly over here in a minute to answer some questions to you.
Oh, okay. All right, so now let's go.
She's like, no.
She said, nope. No Russian impressions this evening. So let's go back to the live footsteps real quick and bring that back over. So the song's only played 19 times, as we discussed. The most a song's been played before it was with Jeremy at 3 times, Daughter at 2 times, and then it kind of falls off at single digits there afterwards. Being only played 19 times, it makes sense. The song position, it seems to be played heavily in that 21 to 25 based off this charting right here. The set position is definitely more in that encore one in Maine. And last time it was played in Brazil, which is interesting to me. November 17th, 2015. And if you really look at this, 2 times in 2014 in Stockholm, Sweden, Amsterdam, Netherlands, 2013 in Seattle and Oklahoma City, 2012, Atlanta, Georgia, and Newport, UK, and 2011 3 times, 2010 3 times, 2009, of course, which makes the most sense, where it was played 6 times. So
6 times though. 6 times though.
That's it. That's the most ever been played in a single tour. And if you look at the percentages, which is the most interesting fact here on livefootsteps.org, it tells you based off the entire amount of shows played that year by Pearl Jam and that tour, how many times has it been played. And so 17 times, so 17% of the tour it was played in, 10%, 13, 11, and 6. And
all right, you
6.
ready? Here's my comment about the song now.
Go ahead.
I think this is an underplayed song only because it's not easy to sing.
No.
I mean, you watch Eddie in that. That's 2 minutes and 40 seconds of just a blistering. It's like Lucan, except Lucan is only 45 seconds. This is 2 minutes and 45 seconds of just like boom, 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 boom. And he probably can't read the lyrics that fast up on his board when it comes up. I mean, it could be a truth.
I agree with you on that one. It's not a terrible song by any means, and I joke. But here's, there's other songs I'd want to hear over this if I had a choice. If I'm making my own set list, this is not something that's going to go on my set list.
There are 30 songs ahead of this in your set list. We know that. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So, in on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most perfect Pearl Jam song and 1 being the worst, where would you place this?
It's a 5. It's right there in the middle. It's a
You-
fun driving song. It'd be probably good for working out. If you
I
want a
agree.
fun workout song, toss out in the mix, right?
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, not my favorite song up there.
There's nothing you're saying that is wrong by any understatement. So, with that being said, you ready to move on to the next song?
Let's do it.
Future Days. Now, we've been to a lot of shows together that just didn't realize we were in the same room together. One of those shows, 2014, Denver, Colorado. Isn't that correct?
Denver, Colorado. That's right.
That's right. So we are going to go back to October 22nd, 2014, where the band, at the height of the 2014 tour, ending the 2014 tour, they played Future Days for us. And you know what? I think they realized that this song was for us at that moment. It was you and me, living in the moment, not knowing how important we would be.
Not even knowing.
This is Trey. I would like to dedicate this song to you about our future days. This is this is Future Days by Pearl Jam. As we swap over.
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Everything I found, dear, I've not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make a man of me. Oh, my stolen missing parts, I've no need for anymore. I believe, and I believe, 'cause I can see our future days of you and me. Back when I was feeling broken, I focused on a prayer. You can be busy in the ocean or with something out there here. All the complexities and games, no one wins, but somehow they're still played. All the missing crooked hearts, they may die, but in us they live on. I believe, and I believe, 'cause I can see our
No, it's not on. It's just the video.
days of you and me. When hurricanes and cyclones rage, when winter turns to dust, when floods they came, or tides they raise, never close to became.
I have a blanket that I don't need anymore that's kind of like felt. I can just cut it up to
All the promises that somehow I'm like
Getting the cages that
Shoot a bigger cage.
round. I grateful now they have all left. So persistent in my ways. Yeah, angel, I am here to stay. No resistance, no alarms. Please, this is just too good to be born. I believe, and I believe, just I can see our future days of
Trey and me. Trey and me. Trey and me.
That's just ridiculous. my goodness.
Oh.
Oh,
You-
you're gonna be getting a text from Holly now.
Oh God, I can only imagine Oh God, it's all right. This is a very. I forgot how amazing this song is.
Well, it's a beautiful song. Really, a beautiful song. And before the show started, I think I said, how many weddings have used that as the wedding song?
I would assume a ton.
That's gotta be a shit ton. Yeah.
My wife and I got Future Days debuted in Chicago 2013 with Brendan on piano. Beautiful song.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, especially because we didn't know what the song was at the time. You know, that was made it really expensive, really special. I don't know. I guess because I just ran 6 miles and I'm just drinking wine and haven't eaten food all day today. I guess this wine's really fucking me up. Let's go to the statistics, shall we? This comes off the great album, otherwise known as Lightning Bolt. First played.
Only played 16 times?
That is shocking. Dude.
That's shocking.
I
thought for sure that had a lot more plays.
Well, here's the crazy thing. The last time it was played, it was in 2016. This is another song that is, hold on a second, knocking on the door of being not played in a very long time. It is insane. Only 16 times.
10% of the shows since it debuted in 2013.
That is insane.
So, yeah.
Let's look at this. The last time it was played twice in 2016 at Madison Square Garden. Last time it was played on May 1st. Wow. And then it was played in Greenville, South Carolina. I got to see that show, so I'm glad I got to see that at the Wellness Arena, April 16th. 2014, it played in Denver. Got to see that one too, and then played in Berlin. I can't say that. Festival Park, July 5th, and then 2013
that would be Germany.
Thank you.
Key Arena. I saw the Key Arena show.
Wow.
I saw the Wells Fargo show.
I saw the Phoenix.
PA.
I saw Phoenix, Charlottesville, which I still think. I will say this. And now Charlottesville definitely hits home for things. I got to see I saw the Philadelphia Wells Fargo Center. Yep. Okay. And Barclays. Okay. So I saw it a few times, and I saw Wrigley Field on the 19th. But
I didn't realize Charlottesville, Virginia loved John Paul Jones that much.
So has nothing to do with Led Zeppelin. It's John Paul Jones, the Doctor. Just to put it out there, just in case you're curious. Unfortunately, has nothing to do with Led Zeppelin. It is a big. When they were building that arena, everyone thought it had everything and all to do with Led Zeppelin, and people were excited about it. And then when it was announced, it had to do with a doctor.
Let's be honest right now. That guy goes by the name John Paul Jones simply because he knows it's going to get that reaction.
Possibly.
Otherwise, he'd just be John Jones, MD.
John Jones, MD.
But he had to throw in the fact that he's John Paul Jones, some rich doctor who donated a bunch of money. I'd rather have it be the Led Zeppelin story.
The Led Zeppelin story makes more sense. So let me ask you this. This is definitely a different side of Pearl Jam when this came out. This is definitely a slower song. It's definitely a song that Eddie wrote for his wife. Definitely something special. Where does this rank on that scale of 1 to 10 again? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. How does this fit in there?
That's like a 7.5. I like that song. It's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song. So I had to go dig deep into my scoring for this one, and I gave it 7.623. That's my ranking for the song. I wanted to be official with the scoring. I wanted to give it a true, accurate scoring for it. Beautiful song. I think it really holds up. I think this is a song like Supersonic. I understand why it's not played as much as the other songs, but I am thoroughly shocked this song's only been played 16 times, and that it's been 7 years since this song's been played. And that's a shocker. Now here's a
shocker. Yeah.
Here's my next song. My next question for you, Trey. Do you see this song ever being played again?
When they do the Backspacer album, they will absolutely play this song again.
Let's go to the Backspacer album, shall we? And let's see how that's going to hold up in retrospect of a full album show. So let's go.
No,
to
they, they'll look.
first of all,
They'll play that game. They'll play that song again for sure. They'll butt that out.
all right. Well, now you got me thinking, and it's a lightning bolt it came off of. So let's go to lightning bolt.
Or lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. That's what I meant. My fault. Yeah,
That's all
the
good.
lightning bolt. The lightning bolt when they do the lightning bolt album.
All right. Let's talk about this song's off of lightning bolt, shall we? Sitting in at 47 minutes and only 12 songs long. And Brad says this will be played as a request from a friend. I could see that. Like, oh, I'm getting engaged. I'm Eddie's third cousin. Can I come on stage and get engaged to my girlfriend of 4 weeks and make a big deal about it? I can see that. First song, Getaway. I think that's a very, very good song and very underrated. Number 2, Mind Your Manners. Very great song. Another underrated song. My Father's Son. Oh, that is an interesting song. Sirens. Go ahead. What were we gonna say, Trey?
No, I was gonna ask you about that. My Father's Son, but
So
I mean,
got this.
look. Here's the thing: we can't break these songs down one by one. That's
No,
what
no,
the
no,
whole
no.
show's about. Now
Yeah.
we're breaking down the whole fucking album.
You know what?
But you were sort of going
As a
through them.
matter
I
of fact,
got
you know
it.
what we're gonna do, Trey? Next month, our first song, My Father's Son. We're gonna talk about it.
There we go.
And then
There we
you know
go.
what our
I'm gonna-
second song is
I'm
gonna
gonna make
be?
you talk about it, Anthony. I'm gonna make you talk about it.
I am gonna lay on a couch with my feet propped up in the air, and I'm gonna go break down all my father and daddy issues that I have after we listen to My Father's Son. And you guys are gonna learn how completely fucked up my parenting ways are when it comes to my parents. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
Well,
But next month, I am calling it now. The first song, Sirens. Second song, Pendulum. I think they're the two bookends of this album. One very underrated, completely underrated, and one that I don't know should have made the cut. We'll talk about that next month.
I like it. I like it.
I figured you would.
Write that down before you forget, Anthony, because we're gonna.
Thank you
we're
very
gonna,
much.
Like coming up with different songs
Pendulum.
next month, and someone's gonna call us out like, Anthony, you said you're gonna do Sirens and Pendulum.
I'm writing it down.
So now we're not doing My Father's Son. We're doing Sirens and Pendulum.
No, we're doing My Father's Son and Pendulum. We're doing it. That's what we're doing.
Oh, I thought you said Sirens and Pendulum.
No. My Father's Son,
Yeah.
Pendulum.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's next
got
month.
it. Okay.
As we celebrate Lightning Bolt that came out on January 1st, 2013, the anniversary of whenever that is. So
January 1st. Holy shit.
wow, did it really come? I didn't.
You know what? You know what we're coming up on, Anthony?
What's that?
Hold on a second here. Let me find this real quick.
Okay,
It's a big day.
it is a big day.
I wish
Is
we
it
could
the-
do our show on this day. I wish we could do our show on this day, but I can't.
What is
But
this?
it's gonna be it'll be my 31-year anniversary of seeing Pearl Jam on April 16th,
Wow,
Athens, Georgia.
that's pretty amazing. 31 years ago. Do you know
Yeah.
what's crazy? I would have been.
How old were you, Anthony?
I was 6, right? No, I was 7. No, 6. I was 6. I was 6 turning 7. How awesome is that? Because I'll be 38 on April 24th. So that's how it rolls. Craziness.
That's
Craziness
awesome.
for sure. Now let's talk about let's get off the topic of Pearl Jam for a little bit, and let's talk about what has been going on and what we've been listening to recently. Because I feel like there's been a lot of interesting music coming out recently, in my opinion.
Okay.
And especially with like Stone was doing his shows here recently.
Yeah.
Banging them out.
Dude, the painted shield shows went off like a hook. It was crazy. Daniel, who works for us in Seattle, went to that Monday night show. Have we not been on since I had Richard Subaru play our place? I don't think so.
No, because
Yeah.
that was after we left. Because I had thought about coming. It was the first weekend of this month is when that all happened.
That's right.
And I was going to come
yeah.
out, but financially just couldn't
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah. Well, we had Richard and the Bad Scene, which was Kurt Block, who was in the Fastbacks with Richard back in the early 90s, and Kurt's brother Al Block. Kurt and Al have a band called the Bad Scene.
Okay.
And so Richard came up and played a show on Friday night at our place. We had Rob Benson's band, Planets in the Ocean,
No.
open up for Richard. It was awesome. The sound was great. Good audience. A lot of fun seeing everybody. My friend Cassidy is the drummer for Planets in the Ocean. It was great to see him. Guan on bass. It was a great show.
Now, before you move any topics, I want to give
Yeah.
some breaking news. Do I have a really good? That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for a drum roll.
Yep.
There we go with that one. Tomorrow evening on Late to the Party with Rob Benson, Rob Benson is the lead singer of Planets in the Ocean. We are going to be debuting a brand new Planets in the Ocean song. So tomorrow evening, you'll be able to hear it first here on the Touring Fan Live as we present Late to the Party with myself and Rob Benson. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I figured that would be a good point to just break in some.
That was a good segue. I like the segue. I liked it.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that was, man, that was a fun weekend. And then, the next night, we had Chris Friel and his band Strong Suit open up for, they were the headliners. We had two sets. And then Rick, his brother, his band, brand new band called Rick's Fingerbread Muffin.
Oh, that's a name.
Rick's Fingerbread Muffin. It was a little group he put together in the last couple months, I think. Anyway, they opened the show, played a bunch of originals, played a bunch of great covers. Chris was on drums. And then Strong Suit came out and played a fun set.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it was just it was an awesome weekend.
Man,
we host some good music at our place.
I wish I could.
You gotta come
live.
if you're in Seattle, come down to see our place for sure.
Definitely. I wish I could have seen that live. I would have even liked to have watched it online. I wonder how you can make that happen, Trey.
Yeah, if only I knew a guy.
If you only knew a guy. Well, listen, I will say that, first of all, fantastic that you having all these bands played up there. And I can't say enough how awesome it is that Richard's getting this attention that he so well deserves. If even just subtracting the attention he got from playing with Pearl Jam on the West Coast for those few days when Matt had COVID, I mean, Richard is a guy that deserves all of the positivity that he has coming his way. Fantastic drummer, fantastic songwriter, amazing musician, great friend, amazing father. If you've never seen him perform with his son, he's done quite a few things for Touring Fan Live. Just an overall great guy and super generous. It's just so amazing to see everything he did. And it was fantastic that when he played for Easy Street Records, he had Duff McKagan come in as a special guest. He had Jeff Ament played bass. That was a special thing. But you know what I really loved about the performance? How Jeff played to Richard the entire night. Like every video I've seen, it was Jeff kind of facing Richard and then playing together. It wasn't like Jeff playing to the crowd. This was Jeff didn't want to take that away from Richard, which I thought was fantastic. And I thought it was just it's good to see that he's getting this attention because it's so well deserved for him. Richard's a fantastic person, and I'm just so happy that he's getting it.
Hey, I have a funny story about Duff. So I drove up to Easy Street before that show, and I got there maybe 10 minutes before the show started, and walked upstairs. If you've never been to Easy Street, there's a main floor, sort of divided off into two rooms. One is where most of the vinyl and merchandise and the checkout area is. The second room is where the stage is, but 99% of the time that room is their restaurant. And there's upstairs where the majority of their vinyl is located.
Mm-hmm.
So I got there early. I popped upstairs just to kind of peruse some of the vinyl, and Duff was up there by himself. And I'd met Duff on a couple of different occasions. So I walked over, I sort of reintroduced myself, like, hey, Duff, I'm Trey. We've met a few times. We have a mutual friend, Jeff Redding. Jeff was one of my good friends from Seattle back in the 90s, still to this day, but he was Duff's drummer in Loaded, which was Duff's band sort of post Guns N' Roses. And so Jeff was his drummer for all the Loaded stuff. So we said hello, and I'm like, oh, I said, I didn't even think about it in my head. I'm like, oh, what are you doing here? And maybe to see Richard, right? It didn't even occur to me that he was the very first drummer in the Fastbacks with Kurt and Fastbacks is one of those bands that have like 15 different drummers throughout the lifetime.
Sure.
Duff, when he was in high school, was their very first drummer in like 1979.
Jesus. I didn't even...
So Fastbacks have been around for a long time. Kim Warnick was also at both my show on Friday night and the Saturday night show. Was really hoping that she was going to get up on stage and play guitar, but she was just there to enjoy the moment, which was also just super cool. But it was cool to see Duff there. It was great to see Jeff get on stage and, like you said, sort of support Richard and his new single and all that good stuff. So,
I have massive news. We have gotten so many viewers in the last hour. We have spammers in our comment section messing with our viewers.
Yes.
This is good. I'm going to put this up. First of all, to Linda David, who is clearly fake as can be, I would like to read her comment that she wrote to Matt, who's been a fan of our show for many years. I would say since episode 1. And I would like to read this comment in a very unique voice. Here we go.
Yeah, do it. Can you do it in Russian voice? Do you have a Russian voice?
You have this one? No, we're going to go with this one. I like this one. It's a microphone. Matt Behan, hello, my dear. How are you doing today? I read through your profile, and I will like to be a friends with you, but it is inappropriate for me to send you a friend request without you knowing. I will be very happy if you can send me a friend request so that we can get to know more about each other better. I don't normally write in the comment section, but I think you deserve this comment. Heart, yellow heart, red heart, yellow heart, red heart, red heart, red heart. Smiley face, kissy, smiley face. Matt. From me and Trey personally.
Matt,
please, friend request Linda.
Do it. Let's see where this goes. I think a match is there to be made.
I think. Well, first of all, I know Matt's happily married and has a fantastic family, but I want nothing more than to be a part of this catfish journey that Matt and Linda
let's
be
do
on.
it.
Oh,
Listen.
Jesus. Oh, he says. Then Matt says, "Linda, I'm happily married. Beat it." Oh, if I only had Michael Jackson music right now, that would be fucking perfect.
Matt, come on. First of all, she doesn't
take
read
one.
English,
Take one for the team, Matt.
Take one for the team. Let's see where this goes.
The team. Scream it from the
At
top
what
of
point did she ask for your banking information?
That's right. Linda's gonna say, I was actually originally married to the Prince of Nigeria, wherever, and he said if I give his dad $100, he'll give us $1 million. So definitely do that. Oh,
you got to do that, Matt.
What a fantastic swerve this was, as this is our new.
Yeah.
Where's that sound again? This is our record scratch of the evening.
Yeah. Hey, I wore this shirt. I don't know if you noticed it, Anthony.
Oh,
but it was a little chilly out. Let's see here.
Oh, let's go to the back. Are we going to the back? Oh, that's fancy.
Come on.
I love it.
So when Mother Love Bone got back to when they did the Mother Love Bone tribute shows, I remember going to the Paramount Theater and running into a guy who had this same T-shirt on. We laughed our ass off. We took a bunch of photos together and stuff. It was just like hilarious. But only in Seattle. Would you see that, right?
Yeah,
So,
realistically, yeah. I got to ask you a question,
probably
too.
not in Kansas City, I'm guessing.
No, not Kansas City.
Not in Kansas
but
City.
This brings me up to the one last topic I want to discuss tonight, because I know it's getting kind of late. There is a lot of bands that are calling it quits this year. Kiss is calling it quits in December. Candlebox just announced
it's about 20 years too late. What's that? I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Say it again.
You leave those gentlemen alone.
The
Candlebox
Friel brothers are so angry at me right now for even saying that. But you know what? I think they probably, in their heart of hearts, know that was the right statement. Mike McCready probably feels exactly the same way.
So
All right. Who
now,
else? Who else? Kiss. Who else?
Candlebox just recently announced that this is going to be their last tour. They're going to be touring with Three Doors Down and doing some solo shows as well, ending a show, and I think they're going to add more tour dates because I can't imagine the last show is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. But we're starting to see the trend of bands announcing that, hey, you know, we've done it all. It's time to kind of, I guess, just knock on the door of you know, Father Time and just say, hey, listen, you know, I think we've ridden it. Now, Candlebox is clearly doing this much earlier than Kiss has, and you know, I know Kiss has mentioned this in the past.
Okay, Candlebox is still 31 years. It's a long time.
And I really enjoy Candlebox, and I'm hoping to get Kevin back on the show. Maybe I'll see if I can get him on our next show. But you know,
man, bring him on our show. It'd be fun.
He's a great guy, and he's super knowledgeable about music and very giving. He's been a part of the show in a couple of times, and we've kind of chatted. No, I think it'd be a good idea, but I'm starting to see the trend of we're definitely getting to the point where some artists are not going to be able to handle the lifestyle of being on the road. Now, as much as I love Candlebox is not selling out arenas like Pearl Jam is, and they're definitely not, you know, a bigger band in that nature. They're definitely doing very well for themselves going around. They did an acoustic tour, all stuff, but other bands are definitely calling it quits. Are we starting to see a trend of bands that we grew up and loved potentially starting to just say, hey, this is it for us? Like, we've done it all. We've made enough money. Like, is this it for it? Motley Crue is also having their farewell tour. That's true.
Brad. Come on, man. Motley Crue has been having a farewell tour for 10 years, and they're also 20 years too late. It's the truth.
It is.
Don't hate me for spouting the truth, man. And this is a guy. One of my very first concerts, one of my very first loves was 1984, 85, 86 Motley Crue. It was awesome. They should not be playing live music in any way, shape, or form anymore.
Well,
should have stopped 20 years ago.
It's not the same guitarist anymore because I think he's
Mick Mars can't tour anymore.
Correct. So now it's Johnny Five. That was like
Vince Neil can't sing since 2000.
Oh, geez. I know how we're gonna end the show. I know
Please don't pull up a live. Motley Crue. It's terrible.
Hold on.
Just pull up "Shout at the Devil."
No.
Video, and let's watch that and remember Vince at the height and not at the lowest of the lows.
Here we go. All right. Hold on. We're gonna this is one of my favorite.
Jesus.
All right, hold on. I gotta line this up. I wasn't expecting to do this, but now when I think about this, let's
Come on, man. Come on. Oh, come on, man. Birth noises.
Oh my god, have you never seen that shit before?
No, but it hurts.
It hurts my cheeks. I'm smiling and laughing so hard it hurts my cheeks. It's fucking great. Oh,
terrible.
All right.
There's also a David Lee Roth vocal only for I think it's either Panama or maybe in both the first album, but yeah, good stuff. Lots of yelling. So But look, here's the thing. No, don't show that. Look, let's go out on a high note.
All right.
You gotta do something off of Molly Cruz, Shout the Devil.
You know, I would say, being based off of the fact that most of the people on this show probably don't care about Motley Crue, I think we need to end on a better note. I think we should do. You know what? I know what we're gonna do. So, and the reason I'm doing this is for one of two reasons. Because first of all,
My father's son.
No, it's actually not. No, it has nothing to do with Pearl Jam. Hold on, I gotta find it. Okay, got it. So this past weekend I raised money for suicide prevention. It is a topic that I think that not a lot of us talk about, unfortunately, and I think we've lost a lot of great people to suicide. And I think that if you're ever contemplating any of this, I think you should definitely, or if you're having any troubles with mental health, I think you should definitely reach out to people. There's people out there that care about you, and I really want to end that on that note. I've lost too many people because of suicide, and I think that you should definitely talk to someone if you're having some issues. So with that being said, I definitely want to end on this song because it's beautiful, and it's from someone that unfortunately took their life, and I think that it's meaningful that you talk to people. Before I play a song, Trey, is there anything that you want to talk about or bring up before we end the show?
No, I'm excited to see what song you pulled up. I lost one of my best friends and mentors back in 2014 to suicide, and that's why we make Force of Nature and Light Years. We make both those wines for my friend Eric, and so I appreciate you doing all the things that you do, Anthony, to help raise awareness and also help raise some money for all the local charities that you do. So thank you, buddy.
Well, when I have great people in my life, like the people watching our show and you, it gives me the ability to do those things and have a platform to talk to those people. So before we end on this song, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I'm Anthony, that's Trey. And till next time, which will be on April 26th at 9 p.m., where we'll be talking about Pendulum and My Father's Son and drinking a bottle of wine that I'll be able to talk about. I'm Anthony Criswitz, that's Trey Bush, and this is Chris Cornell with Nothing Compares to You.
It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. I go out all night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whoever I choose. I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. Nothing can take away these blues. 'Cause nothing compared to you. It's been so lonely without you here, like a bird without a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, where did I go wrong? I could put my arms around any girl I choose, but it just reminds me of you. All the flowers that you planted, mama, in your backyard, all died when you went away. And I know living with me, baby, is sometimes hard, but I'm